it all started with Madame Rigolotte finding a simple set of juggling balls. As you may know, the Wooden Fellows are deeply, deeply curious about our world, and they ask many questions, just not quite yet on camera. But thankfully, the hands behind them, mine, spend a lot of time listening, observing, and recording their magical discoveries. So, in our previous series, the Wooden Fellows gave us a chance to practice the art of slowing down. Now, with this set of juggling balls, we are going to start practicing the art of questioning. Hi, I'm Frederic. I'm with the Wooden Fellows, and we welcome you to the Petit Refuge. So, why practicing the art of questioning, you may ask? Well, because a thoughtful question can truly stimulate your brain. It can also help you better understand what someone else may be thinking, and overall, just helps you have a more engaging conversation. So, a question like, how could we figure it out, is going to make our brain work more than a question like, do you want a blue crayon or red crayon? So now that we are all experts at slowing down and noticing details around us, thanks to our first series, well, it's time to take the next step. So we will invite you to first focus on what you may remember, then what you may notice, and then what you may imagine as 3 levels of questioning. So you may have heard of Bloom's taxonomy and other frameworks highlighting ways to describe different levels of questionings. But here at the Petit Refuge, we are going to keep things just a bit more simple. Still inspired by those frameworks and these ways of thinking, but we are simply going to use 3 lenses to help us come up with ideas of question on the spot. Just 3 ways of questioning to keep in mind that we are calling looking back, looking here, and looking beyond. So the first way of questioning is what we call looking back. So at this level, our questions help us remember what we saw, what was there, what happened. So let's take a look. So, of course, Madame Rigolotte had to share her findings with Maurice. And so, as you watch him looking at the set of balls, you might ask him, what are those? Where did you find them? Do you remember when we went to the circus while we were visiting friends? So, those questions help us practice remembering, connecting with prior experiences or vocabulary we learned in the past. What else would you ask him to stimulate prior memories he may have around juggling balls? So, looking back, to sum up, is about recalling, naming, recognizing. And so at this level, simply focus on what you or the person in front of you may remember. So, what is it called? Remember last time we saw something similar? Who was there with us? The second way of questioning is looking here. So at this level, our questions help us understand what is happening in the moment and how things may be connecting. So let's watch Petite Clotilde and stay with what is happening. So you might ask her, Petite Clotilde, tell me about your story. Tell me more about the characters, or the juggling balls? Those questions help us move beyond noticing and begin understanding more what is going on. So, what other question would you ask Petite Clotilde to better understand what is happening from her perspective? So looking here or looking closely, I use both terms, is about noticing and being present. So at this level, focus more on what is going on right now. Some details you may see. What is happening? What makes you say that? Right, last one. I told you we would keep things simple. So the third way of questioning would be looking beyond. And so at this level, our questions stretch our thinking, help us imagining, designing, and exploring what could be. So let's watch Pierre Kéroul now, and let our imagination move forward with the way we can ask questions. So you may ask him, Pierre Kéroul, what are you planning to make next? What would happen if you add a pulley? Or what else could you use this idea for? So those questions help us move beyond what we see, truly into endless possibilities. So to sum up, looking beyond, it's about extending what is happening, make some prediction, use our imagination, make deeper connection. And so at this level, we fully engage our brain to better extend our thinking. What would happen if? Why might that happen? Or what would you do next? So we return to where it all began with Madame Rigolotte and a simple set of jungly balls. But by noticing what was there, by trying to understand what was happening, and by imagining what could come next, we all practiced the art of questioning. And in the coming days, we'll share short videos, small vignettes, each offering another moment to pause and ask questions. And of course, as always, you're invited to practice along with us. Thanks for slowing down with us today. Let's do it again next time.